Good night and welcome to Benalmadena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. After complaints from the hotel and business sector, City Hall offered a press conference to clarify some aspects of the Malapesquera breakwater extension works and defend the need for its execution.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Víctor Navas, and Beaches Councilwoman Encarnación Cortés held a press conference last week to inform about the development of the extension works of the Malapesquera breakwater.
Nuestro litoral está sufriendo las consecuencias de los temporales.
This is one of the most important actions for Benalmádena, a major project kept for decades in a drawer that we have managed to unblock. The action will last 2.5 months and will stabilize and protect our beaches for a period of 30 years, also allowing the existence of a larger sand area. Our duty is to defend the general interest of the city, ensuring the quality of our beaches for what they mean for the generation of wealth and employment in the municipality. An environmental impact report was carried out by the ministry with studies of the Andalusian government that include the obligation to make a biological stop from July to December for the protection of a marine species. If the Junta de Andalucía is willing to change these studies, perhaps we can work on other dates and postpone the action until autumn, but it has to be executed this year since the works depend on the European funds Next Generation. The mayor highlighted that the government team is sensitive to the worries expressed by the business sector and also asked PP to act as mediator with the regional government.
Me encantaría que AECOS nos trajese al Ayuntamiento de Benalmádena.
Although as a city council we have an interest in the work being carried out, we are sensitive to the productive fabric of the city. We understand that now is the time when the tourist season starts, but we also have to be aware that a 2-month action will guarantee the protection of our beaches for 30 years. I asked AECOS for the economic impact report with which they calculate the millionaire losses stated in the report, to verify the accuracy of these numbers and to assess how we can help. A work that is good for the general interest of Benalmádena and its citizens is being politicized in a self-serving way. I would like the PP of Benalmádena to offer to mediate with the Junta de Andalucía to lift the biological stop that the environmental report states is the only option to move the start of the work to the autumn. On her part, Cortés stressed that the works are not municipal, explaining that they have already asked for a delay.
Las obras del dique son obras que dependen del
The works are not municipal. We have no competence to modify the plan. It will affect a stretch of 500 meters of our 9 kilometers of beaches. The first thing we did on March 10 was to ask the ministry to postpone the works until the end of the summer season. The response was clear. From July to December, the environmental impact report determines a biological stop in the works due to the protection of a marine species, in addition to the environmental impact report prepared under technical criteria of the Junta de Andalucía. The councilwoman ensured that they will only close a small section of the beach, postponing the bulk of the lorry traffic after Easter.
Esta es a 3 hoteles.
From the start, our technicians have been in constant contact with those responsible for the works, and we are working to ensure that the impact of the works is as minimal as possible. We are planning to close off a very small part of the beach so that most of the affected stretch is open and available for Easter, postponing the bulk of the lorry traffic. We have been demanding this action more than a decade, necessary to prevent the constant erosion of these beaches.
Benalmádena is a municipality in full expansion and growth over the last few years, and the trend seems to be continuing. The Town Hall announced this week that our census continues to grow, informing us about the new municipal census data just published by the INE.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Víctor Navas, and General Administration Councilman Sergio Torralbo offered a press conference this week to announce a new update on the municipality census that is now around 75,535 inhabitants.
Creo que es importante reseñar y destacar que Benalmádena ya supera los 75,000
Surpassing 75,000 inhabitants was one of our goals because of the benefits it implies. We will have more resources at our disposal, which will help us to regularize certain situations of foreign residents. In Benalmádena, there are already more than 140 different nationalities. It will also mean an increase in the income we receive from other administrations. Benalmádena Town Hall's share of states and autonomous community income will increase, as well as participating in special income such as taxes on petrol, tobacco or alcohol. Thanks to exceeding this threshold, the Town Hall will increase its income by 2 million euros per year from the shares of other administrations, which will reinforce the completely healthy economy of this local administration. Navas spoke about the good state of the municipal coffers and the low tax burden.
Tiene la posibilidad de aumentar el número de ingresos, ¿no? que recibimos.
In 2015, we found a city council with 124 million euros of financial debt, but today we are still a solvent institution with financing capacity and without debt with third parties, and all this without passing on the increase in the cost of living to citizens through tax increases, being one of the councils with the lowest tax burden in the province. Having a healthy economy with an adequate income and size to the service we provide allows us to offer free public transport to residents, to have faced investment worth 50 million euros this term, in addition to the solvency demonstrated to gain access to European funds, adding up to 15 million euros in this regard in recent years. For his part, Torralbo praised the work of the civil servants, thanking them for their effort and dedication, and appealed to the citizens to register on the census. As of January 1st, Benalmádena has 75,533 registered residents, an increase of almost 2,400 people over the previous year. We are fulfilling the goal we set ourselves. This is still provisional data, but we won't go below this figure. We now have a period of allegations which will allow us to increase the number, and it will be next November when the INE will communicate the definitive figure. I would like to remind the citizens registering on the census is an obligation, but it is also brings a benefits, such as a reduction in the IBI or the free use of the public transport, which will allow us to increase our population. This number is the result of good planning and hard work on the part of the municipal census technicians, which is why I thank all the municipal workers for this achievement. This increase will mean that Benalmádena will receive some extra income from the state.
The government team continues its commitment to facilitate mobility in the municipality by reinforcing public transport. In this week, they announced a new on-demand transport service, as well as an increase in the frequency of the 103 bus line.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Víctor Navas, and mobility councilman Javier Marín held a press conference on Tuesday to announce the creation of a new public transport service on demand in several areas of the municipality, as well as an increase in the frequency of the 103 bus line.
Hace unos años empezamos convencidos de la necesidad.
We are launching two improvements for all registered residents: on-demand transport and an increase in the frequency of the 103 bus service. We have been committed to improving the municipal transport service for years, trying to make it easier for citizens to move around the town and offering them sustainable transport alternatives. We are increasing the number of journeys in terms of frequency and timetables, also adding two new lines, 106 and 107, which will be a pilot test of on-demand transport. Free for registered residents, users can request it via the Avanza TAD application or phone call, and the minibus will take them to a stop on line 103 Intercity or Cercanías. The two on-demand transport lines will serve the urbanizations, the areas farthest from the route covered by line 103, allowing registered residents of Arenal, Sant'Angelo North and East or Miramar to take this service free of charge and go to a stop to travel anywhere in the municipality. Navas explained that they are also negotiating with the Junta to make intercity transport free of charge.
Y además añadimos dos nuevas líneas, la 106 y la 107, que es una prueba.
This pilot test will help us to test the demand for this service. Once verified the real need, we will make it permanent or evolve it into a new stable line of the municipal transport service. Our intention is that the interurban lines of the transport consortium should also be free of charge for registered residents on their routes around the municipality, but we are still waiting for a response from the Junta de Andalucía. We do not understand that the regional government claims to be committed to sustainable mobility, but does not offer an adequate response to the residents who demand free use. Our commitment to free public transport is clear. We can carry it out because we have a solvent economy. This measure is aligned with one of the strategic goals of the Spanish urban agenda to promote proximity and sustainable mobility. On his part, Marín emphasized that with actions like this, they continue to fulfill their commitment to improve public transport.
Hace 4 años adquiríamos un compromiso de dar un
4 years ago, we made a commitment to provide the most efficient service. Previous municipal governments cut the municipal transport, but we have progressively increased investment, going from just over 200,000 euros to more than 1.6 million euros. We are still waiting for the Junta de Andalucía to tell us when and how we can implement free use for registered residents of the consortium interurban lines on their routes within the municipality. Transport on demand will operate from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Although our intention is to continue to increase the timetable depending on the needs of users and confirm that the service can be requested up to 24 hours in advance. For the elderly, as well as providing a telephone number, tasks will be held at the 2 active participation centers to teach them how to use the application to request transport on demand. We are the first large municipality on the Costa del Sol to implement this on-demand transport service.
The Association of Hotel Businessmen of the Costa del Sol published their hotel occupancy forecast for Easter week, placing our municipality over 87%, very positive figures which show its strength as a tourist destination.
The mayor of Benalmádena and tourism councilman, Víctor Navas, spoke this week about the recent AECOS report, which puts the expected hotel occupancy in the municipality at 87.62% for next Easter. Navas stressed that we are 10% above the figure recorded last year at this time of the year.
Quería hacerme eco de los informes que AECOS ha emitido estos días.
Benalmádena is the second destination in the province of Málaga in overnight stays for Easter, placing us 10% above what was registered last year during these dates, which is a good symptom of the strength of our tourism sector. As happened in October 2022 and last January, we are at the top of the list with the highest number of bookings expected for next month. The mayor highlighted the strength of Benalmádena as a destination as the municipality keeps growing and attracting investment.
Creo que estamos en un momento.
Benalmádena is a tourist destination with enormous strength. Not only are we growing in population because many opportunities are generated and everyone wants to come and live here, but tourists choose and repeat our city as a destination to enjoy their holidays. Although Navas acknowledged that it is necessary to continue working to improve the hotel plant, infrastructures and the destination, reviewing several projects that are transforming the municipality.
Importante también que trabajemos en renovar
It is important to continue working on the renovation and improvement of our public spaces and hotel facilities, to continue improving the tourist destination because Benalmádena cannot be left behind. For this reason, works such as the remodeling of Avenida Alay are so important, as they allow us to recover public space for the use and enjoyment of residents and tourists, or the extension of the semi-submerged breakwater, which will allow us to have more stable and better quality beaches.
Culture Councilman Pablo Centella held a press conference to present the 29th edition of the Theatre Festival, one of the oldest programs of the delegation, which aims to promote the performing arts.
Culture Councilman Pablo Centella presents last week the 29th edition of the Muestra de Teatro, an amateur theatre cycle that began on March 22 at Casa de la Cultura.
Van a participar 12 grupos de teatro.
29 years are quite a record for a show of these characteristics in which schools, theatre lovers and various associations participate. In this edition, 12 different theatre groups will perform 15 plays with associations such as Abad, Duende Escena, Teatreros or Aleceia Teatro, as well as the AMPAs of La Luz and El Tomillar, and 5 schools, Miguel Hernández, El Panal, Albaitar, IES Benalmádena and IES Poetas Andaluces. After reviewing the groups taking part, Centella pointed out that the Anica Torres Senior Citizens Center is also preparing a performance and highlight that people with functional diversity will be able to reserve tickets 48 hours in advance.
Y además contaremos con la representación.
We will also have the representation of the Center for Active Participation Anica Torres. All the performance will take place in the Casa de la Cultura, and 48 hours beforehand it will be possible to reserve seats for families with children with functional diversity. In conclusion, the Councilman stressed the commitment of the government team to culture promotion, attracting a quality offer and involving the citizens to participate in it.
La nueva política cultural que ya emprendimos hace.
The show will conclude on May 5th. The new cultural policy that we start in 2019 has always set itself the objective of promoting this theatre show, because we understand that culture is as much about organizing great shows as it is about involving the public so that they feel part of the culture, and this show is proof of that.
And these are today's headlines. City Hall informs on the breakwater extension works. Benalmádena surpasses the 75,000 inhabitants. Clear commitment to public transport in the municipality. Navas values the hotel occupancy forecast. The Theatre Festival celebrated its 29th edition. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with slightly cloudy skies with intervals of high clouds, minimum temperatures of 14 degrees and maximum around 26, winds from the west with strong intervals, land breeze in the Guadalhorce Valley and coastal areas. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.